So much for listening to this episode of Earrings Off. We want to invite you to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook at Earrings Off Podcast and on Instagram at The Earrings Off Podcast.
Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started.
In this episode of the Earrings Off Podcast, we're joined by the phenomenal Dorothy Dee Dee Miller, an award-winning actress whose powerhouse performances have captivated audiences on stages across the region. A recipient of the RTCC Best Actress honor, Dee Dee now steps into one of her most demanding roles yet, bringing Hattie McDaniel to life in the acclaimed solo musical Hi-Hat Hattie. In our conversation, she opens up about embodying a woman who broke Hollywood's toughest barriers, became the first Black actress to win an Academy Award, and still isn't fully credited for the legacy she left behind. Dee Dee shares the emotional weight, the responsibility, and the deep parallels she feels as a Black actress carrying Hattie's story forward. It's honest, it's powerful, and it's a reminder of why preserving our history and celebrating the artists who tell it matters. Now, don't miss this powerful conversation, and be sure to catch Dee Dee live on February 25th if you're in the Richmond area at the Cultural Arts Center as she brings Hattie McDaniel's story to the stage with breathtaking force. Stay tuned. This is an episode you'll feel long after it ends.
We have with us today Dorothy Dee Dee Miller, and we are excited to have you with us today. Welcome to Earrings Off.
Well, thank you so very much for having me. I'm so excited to be on Earrings Off. This is exciting, and I'm so happy to meet you.
Well, thank you. So tell us, when you step into the role of Hattie McDaniel, what aspects of her personality or her journey resonates with you the most?
Oh, that's a really good question. I would say aspects of her personality, her boldness. She was a bold lady.
Yeah.
She was bold and she was brave. And I think in order to do a one-woman show, you have to have a little bit of that and a lot of bit of some of the other stuff in order to really get in there and tell her story the way it needs to be told. So I think her boldness and her fearlessness, all of that plays a part. And as far as the journey, she and I have a parallel line. A lot of her struggles as an actress I face now in 2026. You know, just trying to be heard, be seen, and get the recognition that is deserved, I think is part of her journey that truly resonates with me. I too am a first in the city of Richmond. I am the first Black woman to receive a single, just one award personally for me for the Richmond Critics Circle, the theater circle. Wow. And yeah, it blew my mind. And so her being the first to ever do anything on the radio, her being the first to ever be in a movie, you know, to star in a movie, to be the first to win an Academy Award. You know, I'm the first in my family to do anything in regard to acting, you know, and I had no idea I could even do it. Never gone to school for it. It just kind of fell on me. And so I think that too is a big part of our journey together, Hattie and I.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I love that answer. Thank you. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Hattie broke barriers as the first Black woman, as you said, to win an Academy Award. In your view, what part of her legacy is still most misunderstood or overlooked today?
I think the part of her legacy that's most misunderstood was her purpose in doing the roles, choosing the roles, and playing the roles that she was able to play. And I
That's
say
right.
able
Yeah.
because she wasn't able to just do what she wanted to do. She
That's
couldn't
right. Yeah.
pick her own roles. She had to do what was
Right.
given to her. And
Yeah.
I think that is, especially in our community, a lot of taking it back to where she was, we as a people, we turned on her, we turned
Yes. Yes. I
and
mean,
we
yeah, I read a little bit about that.
mhm, we completely turned, even though she broke barriers, even though she knocked down whole walls so that I can sit here and interview with y'all today. She did not get the recognition for that. What she got the recognition for was being a mammy, a
Hmm.
mammy figure,
Mm-hmm.
something to be
Uh-huh.
embarrassed by, something to,
Yeah.
shy away from and sort of get away from, if you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
When
Yeah. Right.
they what they overlooked though was who she was as a person. Those were roles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
roles. That
So
was her
true.
job.
Yeah.
That was
Hmm.
her job.
Yeah.
That was
She's
her job.
still a
Yeah.
person.
She was still a person.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. And I think
And
that's what's overlooked today.
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I think I read a quote by her where she said, she'd rather play a maid than be
Hmm.
one because
Absolutely.
her being an actor allowed her to excel, allowed her to
Mhm.
provide for her family. She broke
Absolutely.
barriers. But you're right, people turned on her for playing the roles that she was given
Mhm.
and executing them so very well.
And that
Well
was part
said.
of it. She embodied that role. They started tailoring roles to fit her personality, who she
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
right?
right,
In these
right.
roles. But they still forgot
Yeah,
that she was a woman, a Black woman,
yeah,
a woman who
right.
loved, who lost love, who hurt, who missed
Yeah,
people, and who
yeah.
tried her best with all that she was and all that she was able to do to put her people on the map.
Yeah.
Why do you think Hattie McDaniel's story remains essential during Black History Month, especially for younger generations who may not even be aware of her work?
I would say it's essential because our stories, our legacies are being stripped from us. And anytime we get the chance to speak on someone that was a pioneer, a leader, then we should all the
Hmm.
time,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Especially for the younger generations. Once we stop talking about these people, once we stop living these stories, what do they have? If it's all taken out of the libraries, if it's all taken out of the schools, and we lose the word of
yeah,
mouth, what do we
yeah,
have to give them? That's why
Right.
it's
yeah.
essential.
We
Okay.
talked a little bit about this. Hattie faced criticism from parts of the Black community for the roles she accepted. How do you think her experience speaks to the complexities Black artists still navigate in entertainment today?
Hmm. If we look at contrasts, like when those two Black wonderful actors, Halle Berry and there was a gentleman also that I believe they got Oscars,
Hmm.
and that was a big
Hmm.
deal.
Denzel
Hmm.
Denzel,
Washington.
Hmm.
but the
Yeah.
parts
Hmm.
they got the Oscars for were
Right.
less than
Yeah,
savory
yeah.
and did not
Right.
show, in my opinion, their best work. I had seen great
Yeah.
stuff from both of them, great
Yeah.
things. What they were highlighted for was, in
Yeah.
my opinion, the most demeaning things either of them had done in their careers,
Well,
right?
I had
Right.
this conversation with someone. You tell me what you think about this response. I had this very same conversation with someone. You know what they said? It was because they were out of character. You know, they had been typecast for a certain type of role, and for
Mm.
them to play those roles was what was being recognized. And I was like, that I can't say the word, or else that would make this an explicit show. But I I can't say the words that were coming out of my mouth but at that time. But what do
Yeah.
you think about that?
I think I'm not going to say those words either. Um, but what I will say is I don't agree. And I
Yeah,
don't agree
Mm-hmm.
because
Neither do.
in the Black
I
community,
don't.
what is more prevalent is that aesthetic that Denzel presented.
Hmm.
And what is more prevalent for the Black female, right? Not in all communities, I'm not saying that, but the aesthetic, right? What
Yeah,
she was doing, her whole point and purpose,
Right. Right.
right, was
Right.
supposed to reflect what these communities stood for,
yeah,
right?
Right.
right, right.
So, no, they weren't
Yeah.
out of character. They were in line with what folks say that's
That's
what
exa
it's
Right.
supposed
Right.
to be.
Right.
that's exactly.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
we're right
Yeah.
there
That's
together, you know. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
exactly
I
right.
agree.
I agree. And I will tell you, I didn't see the movie that she won the award for because I heard about
I did.
what it I did
Monsters
not
Ball.
Monsters Ball. I
Yeah.
did not
I
watch.
Monsters
I
watched
did
Ball.
not
some
see
Yeah.
of
that
it
movie.
and
But
I couldn't get through
yeah.
all of it.
I did
Yeah.
not watch
Yeah.
that.
It was rough. But I tell you, I didn't watch the Oscars for a long time
Mhm.
after Angela Bassett didn't win for Tina Turner.
Oh
Yeah.
I
wow.
thought
Yeah.
that was robbery. And I was so angry.
Yeah.
It took me a while to even get back to that because to me, that was stolen from her because I don't know what else she could have done. She became Tina right before my
Say
eyes
that.
in
Oh
that
yeah.
movie. And it's
Say
like no matter what you do, it's never enough
Hmm.
unless
and
you are
that's
somehow
part
in
of
the
the
roles that they want you. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of the issue with what we as Black artists still navigate today,
Yeah.
right? We're
Yeah.
still having our roles handpicked for us, and then we're still giving
Right. Right.
play them, right?
Right.
Pennies to
Right.
play them.
Right.
Again, bringing it back to Richmond, there have been many, many amazing Black female actresses to have graced many,
Uh-huh.
many stages right here in Richmond. I have
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
been acting for like truly doing play work for maybe 8
Uh-huh.
years now. Total,
Okay.
my whole
Uh-huh.
career just being on stage is maybe about
Wow.
10.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
but there are folks that have been in this game for
Mm-hmm.
16, 17, 20 years and never got to walk across the stage
Wow.
and get an artsy,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Right. Wow.
But I did. And then I got three
Yeah.
more, right?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
now those were ensembles, and one was best play, one was best musical. The point is, right, that I was one of those people that helped to kick open that door in Richmond,
Right.
right?
Wow. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that says a lot because there were a lot of people before me
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
deserved those
Right.
honors,
Right. Yeah.
you know,
Right.
a little
Yeah.
sooner than maybe if they
Right.
got them, you know. But
Right.
I will say, even in this particular show, here's another parallel where, you know, Amy being a white director, um,
Mm-hmm.
she got a bit of pushback because
Uh-huh.
folks did not agree that she should direct the show, that
Mm-hmm.
she should be the one directly involved. And she tried to do a panel. She reached out to some folks
Mm.
and wanted to bring, because she didn't want it to be that singular type of
Right.
deal. She wanted a whole
Right.
panel. And
Right.
all I can say is we didn't get the panel. Why?
Mm. Yeah.
Right? Because
Okay.
here again, if you look at the parallel between me and Hattie, her people turned on her. My people
Yeah.
just didn't show up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You referenced earlier about just, taking the parts that you're given. That's a hard
Mhm.
part. But also it still sticks with me during COVID. I think the New York Times did an article about African American actors and how the public thinks that they are just making all of this money, but how that was a particularly hard time for them because
Yep.
everything just, disappeared and they were already barely making it before the
Exactly.
epidemic. And I can't remember the title of the article, but they did an excellent job just sharing how Black actors were struggling during that
Yep.
period. And the
Yep.
public, we think that celebrities have all of this money and they all live in mansions. And that's
They
just
don't.
not true many times for our people, particularly. And that does not mean they are not gifted. They are, and certainly
Right.
worthy. But
Right.
they're relegated to accepting the roles that are available, and the funding is oftentimes not what it should be, particularly for us. So I
So,
applaud you and the work that you are doing
well,
to tell
thank
our
you.
story.
I only hope
I
I
really
can
do.
bring her story, a piece of her life, that someone happened to write down, to life,
Mm,
and really give her the respect that she's due.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I think that's something she did not receive, through,
yeah.
depending on who was watching, right?
Right,
Depending on
right,
who heard what on the radio. Folks
right.
supported or didn't. And I don't think she got the respect that she deserved while here. So I'm going to do my
Yeah.
best to make sure, her name is spoken again.
Well,
Yeah.
and thank you so much for that. After embodying Hattie McDaniel, what message do you hope audiences carry with them about her and about you when they leave the performance?
Oh, that's a good one. I have to think on that as far as I'm concerned. As far as she's concerned, I hope audiences leave with a notion to find out more, to
Hmm.
want to know more about her, Hattie did something like over 300 films.
Wow.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, I saw
only
that.
80 of them she was credited
I
for,
saw that.
but
I
she
saw
did
that as well.
so much stuff and nobody
Yeah,
knows.
yeah,
She
yeah.
wrote songs when she was a child. She had this big booming voice as a teenager.
Mm,
They danced on street corners for pennies. Get to know her. Get to
Yeah.
know her. She deserves to be known. She did so
mm,
much. Folks
okay.
call out different actresses for the barriers and things that they knocked down, but in retrospect, Hattie, the very first African American woman to ever sing across the radio, to
Hmm.
ever win an
I saw
Academy
that.
Award, to
Yeah.
ever she wasn't the first to grace the stage, I don't think, but she broke open that door with movies.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
came from the vaudeville era.
Yeah.
And then she had this uncanny, this is one of the things Amy and I spoke about yesterday. And if you pay attention, you can see it too. Hattie, in her own way, was protesting in her roles, in her acts. She was
Hmm.
sassy, she was bold, she said what she wanted to
Yeah.
say or what needed to be said. Do you
Yes,
know
she did.
what time she was living in when she was doing that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She had the ability to give it back to them, right? She in some of her vaudeville, I think, she was poking fun at the white people that were poking fun at the black people while they were in blackface. She was giving it back to
Yeah.
them, but you gotta look for it. It's there though.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
protested the best way she could. She used what she had. I want people to walk away
Wow.
thinking about that,
Amazing.
Hmm.
especially in this
Okay.
day and age when our voices are getting smaller and smaller, right?
Yeah.
How are we going to protest? What ways
Right.
will we find to be creative
What do we
enough?
have? Right.
What do we
Right.
have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as me,
Wow.
I hope folks leave
Mm-hmm.
the theater hopefully thinking I did a pretty good job.
I can
I'm
tell it's
sure
going to
they
be
will.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so
Well,
much.
I tell you, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to
Yes.
talk with us. Kudos to you for all you're doing and much success with your show and going forward. Those are all of the questions we have today. Do you have any parting words for our audience?
Come see us. Come see the show. It's a one show act. It's two acts,
Mhm.
but it's only one show. You get one shot to see this. February
Okay.
25th at 7 p.m. at the Cultural Arts Center. We're going to be featuring jazz and blues classics like St. Louis Blues and Danny Boy, Can't Help Loving That Man, Amazing Grace, and a
Mhm.
little bit more. So
Mhm.
come on out and see us.
Okay. Thank you so much again for joining us. We wish you
Absolutely.
all the very best. Take
Thank
care.
you so much, ladies. Enjoy.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye bye.